Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with Felicia's Madcap Podcast, where making a difference can apply pressure. Now interviewing artists, business owners, survivors, and highlighting our kids while providing updates on community issues. Follow me, DJ Pressure, on Felicia's Madcap Podcast on all your social media platforms. Hey guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I am your host, DJ Pressure, and y'all, we're going to be talking about healing in your heels and your boots with my special guest, Promise Israel. And Promise, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you. And Listen here. I want y'all to know that she is like an icon, social media icon. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's always blessed in the platform with some positivity. Such a strong-minded young lady. Promise, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm Promise Israel, and I go by the Millennial Influencer. And I have a background in communications. I have a degree in communications. And I just like to do stuff for the kingdom. I like to do stuff to glorify God, because I truly think that that's all that matters. I don't really like to talk a lot about myself. I don't know why. I've always been kind of shy on that. I'm a professional sports official. I talk about things that matter. And that's me.
Well, I've been a follower of yours for a while. And so even though you may not like to talk much about yourself because you're so humble, I would like to make sure I bless you with your flowers today and let you know that there are people out there that you are touching. And I want you to continue doing what you're doing because it does make a difference. And that's what Felicia's Madcap Podcast is all about. Making a difference can apply pressure. That's what Madcap stands for. And so having somebody like you out there spreading the word and applying pressure, I had to have you on as a guest. So you guys, we are definitely going to take a quick break. And I know it's quick for the break, but I want to make sure everybody get a chance to tune in. I want to make sure it's shared on all platforms. So Promise, I'm going to give you time to go ahead and share and do what you need to do. And we will be right back, you guys.
Okay.
Take a break, DJ Pressure. We taking a break. Stay tuned, DJ Pressure. We'll be back soon. We taking a break, DJ Pressure. Take a break. Coming soon, DJ Pressure. See you soon. Take a break. 5, 4, 8. We coming back. 3, 2.
Welcome to our music family.
8. Take a break. DJ Pressure. We taking a break. Stay tuned. DJ Pressure, we'll be back soon. We taking a break. DJ Pressure, take a break. Coming soon. DJ Pressure, see you soon. Take a break. 5, 4, 8. We coming back. 3, 2.
Welcome to our music family.
8. Okay, guys, thank y'all so much for just being patient with us and waiting on us to get back as we do what we need to do to make sure you don't miss this show tonight. So Promise, honey, let's get talking about it. Today's topic is talking about healing in your heels or your boots. And just that topic, what do you get out of that?
Well, we're living in a world where a lot of people are in denial about where they are in life and who they are in life. And I think that everything starts with healing, because everyone has some sort of hurt, some sort of trauma. I mean, show me a person who doesn't. I mean, I want to meet them right now today. We can't find one. We won't be able to find one. Even from
Right.
the moment we're born into some sort of stress unknowingly. Of
Mhm.
course, children don't even know what they're in until they grow up. So I just think, just based off the topic, I was attracted to the topic for sure. I'm glad that you chose that because I think it's something that needs to be talked about. And the way that,
Mhm.
we carry on as people, you could see it just through social media, the videos that go viral, the type of entertainment that goes viral, those are all hurt individuals. They don't
Sure
know
are.
it, because they're smiling or they're laughing or they're showing us a good time. But we've all been there where we know that we're suppressing things and we are doing extracurricular activities to make ourselves feel good. But
Right.
as I've grown spiritually, it's like God has allowed me to take my blinders off and I can see the world. I can see how sick the world is. Like the world is sick. So that's how I feel about just the topic itself. I'm glad you chose that.
Thank you. Well, actually, I'm gonna tell you the reason why I chose it. I chose it because as God is transitioning me from a girl to a woman. You know,
Okay.
sometimes we think because of our age, we're now announced as a woman because you're 21 or you're 35, but you're not quite a woman until you have learned to master certain levels in life. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
uh my thing is here I am 37 and I am just now learning how to channel the different parts of my mind and my energy into certain things. So there are now arguments I won't entertain or discussions I won't entertain, people I will not entertain, environments I won't leave myself standing around because I have to protect me.
Right.
And when you start to protect you, you are a woman
Right.
because now you understand that you are a queen,
Yeah.
and a queen protects her throne and everything connected to her, and you just don't let anybody near you. You don't let anything in your house. You don't. So, and you don't let everything capture your attention. I noticed
Yes.
how I changed. Yeah, I noticed how I changed as far as when it comes to how a man approach me and my response,
Yeah.
things like that. So,
I may
honey, I
I
had to choose. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I thought you was coming to a
I should
period.
say
I was
I
going
had
to
to
ask.
choose.
Yeah, I was going to
Go
ask, could I
ahead.
add something in? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
Yeah.
you off though. I
No,
wanted to
you
touch on
good.
when you said, transitioning from a girl to a woman. You probably, that needs to be on a t-shirt because so many people need to understand that you're in a transitional stage. You're always in
Mm-hmm.
a stage of transition. And the fact that you spoke that type of language, I mean, it just made me feel good because I now know, I knew when you invited me on the show and just the small conversations that we've had. But saying that phrase right there, it just made me have even more respect for you because I'm talking to a woman who is aware. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I first started transitioning from a girl to a woman, something shifted in my brain where I had to realize, wait a minute. Like I need to do
Mm-hmm.
something different. And it's not that I was a bad person or a buck wild woman or anything like that. I just wasn't a woman. I wasn't making
Mm-hmm.
decisions um that reflected the type of woman I want to be received as or perceived as. So that
Right.
alone, you saying that, I just hope that resonated with people. You're in a transitional stage, and when you're in a state of transition, you're vulnerable. When I first started
Mm-hmm.
transitioning from a girl to a woman, it was major, and I couldn't do anything without God. You don't even start transitioning until you have a relationship. And I know everybody don't believe in Jesus, but whatever you believe in, you have to believe in something more than yourself. You just have to.
Right.
But me, I believe in Jesus like 1000%. So without having that desire to just want to please him, I never would have entered into the stage of transition. And transitioning is realizing that You don't have to twerk online. You don't have to be overly sexual. You don't have to talk in a ratchet type of way, you know, and I hate to say that stuff, but like that needs to be said, you know, and it does make you
And
put up a
speaking, it
go
does.
ahead.
And speaking of the word transition, people have to understand that's elevation. That's from
Yes.
one level to another. So when you transition, you think about moving forward. You think about elevating. So that
Yeah.
means you have to grow, which
Yeah.
means what I did in the past, I don't do no more. You know,
Right.
so
Right.
a lot of things that attract me in the past don't draw me no more. So I
Yes.
don't mind staying at home by myself. I don't
Yeah.
mind not having sex for a while. I don't
Yeah.
mind being boring. You know, I don't mind not having friends around me all the time. You have to know you. And when you transition, you can't transition, like you said, but without having God. And when you have God, God allows you to know you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you don't know you, you can't affiliate yourself with other people. You become
Yes.
lost when you do.
Yes.
So
And
that's
when you
why go ahead.
okay, I was gonna say when you begin to grow, and I know we can't spend that much time. Let me know if I'm talking too much. But
Oh
when
no,
you
we good. We got 2 more minutes.
okay, when you are in the growing process, God is going to have to prune you. And pruning,
Mm-hmm.
many people know what pruning is when you cut off things that are just dead weight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I feel like I'm just being pruned every day. Pruning is so uncomfortable. Growing is so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Becoming is so uncomfortable. Transitioning is so uncomfortable. Just understanding if you're in a season of your life and you're uncomfortable, you probably in a really good place. You're probably in a really good place, and you need to move towards that discomfort. And I'm not saying in a weird way. Now, if it's something going on around you and it makes you uncomfortable, hey, you know, don't take it. I don't even know. Some people just take your words and twist them. But I think that God
Yeah.
is going to allow the message to be received the correct way. Being uncomfortable and God moving you in an area that is uncomfortable is a sign that He is elevating you. And
Mm-hmm.
everything that you used to do, He's going to use it for the future you. You know, even it doesn't matter what you used to do. Once you decide I want to be better, you have to use the things you used to do, the person you used to be. So the number one, you know, you can shed light and help others avoid some of the things that, you know, we ran into when we wasn't listening or just not knowing. But I just wanted to say all that to say, like, pruning, if you're praying and stuff, pray that God prunes you. Because when He starts to prune you, you'll start growing. He'll cut off that dead weight, those dead relationships, just bad habits, old habits. You know, everything is not bad. Some things are just old. It's just time, you know. So
Well, I'm gonna say this. I've learned that I start hanging up on people fast. If you talking negative, if
yeah,
your energy ain't good, baby, if that phone went dead, that wasn't because my phone ain't working. It's because I ain't got time.
yeah,
I really don't have time. So click, that needs to be on the shirt. Hung up phone, no time for energy. I mean for
yeah,
negative energy. But it's like a disconnect line. Me and you, our spirits ain't connecting. I gotta hang up
yeah,
on you. We
yeah,
ain't on the same level. We ain't if you ain't feeding me, I can't heal. I can't heal constantly inviting negativity.
yeah.
So with that being said, y'all, we will be right back. We're going to take another break, collect a few more thoughts, and we're going to come back with a lot of more information with y'all on how to heal in your heels and boots. Y'all stay tuned with your girl, DJ Pressure and Miss Promise Israel. Thank you.
Wow.
Take a break. DJ Pressure. We taking a break. Stay tuned. DJ Pressure. We'll be back soon. We taking a break. DJ Pressure. Take a break. Coming soon. Pressure. See you soon. Take a break. 5, 4, 8. We coming back. 3, 2.
Welcome
See
to
you
our
soon.
music family.
Take a break. DJ Pressure. We taking a break. Stay tuned. DJ Pressure. We'll be back soon.
Okay, guys, I'm your girl DJ Pressure, and I have Promise Israel with me. We're not gonna take that much of a break that long because we needed to come back. We already took a break. So listen, you guys, I wanted to make sure we get you guys in here and get you fed with this information, this spiritual conversation to help you grow, not only you grow, but me grow. And so right now we're going to talk about women and men not taking care of themselves, their mental, their physical, and their spiritual well-being. Now, just by saying that, what comes off top of your head with that Promise?
Well, like I said before, everyone is in a state where they need to accept that you can be better. You can be better than who you are right now. I can be better than who I am right now, as well as you. So once you realize that, it'll just bring more awareness to the fact that no one is exactly where they should be. Because if you really think about it,
Right.
no one is really putting in 100% to be a better person. You have that 1%, but even being a 1%er in the world, meaning a person who is routine driven, disciplined. I would like to say a person like myself, but I don't want to boast or anything. But still, distractions arise, and I just remember a time where I got to a place where I realized I had this darkness over me. So just hearing that, like, people are struggling with a darkness over them, and it's easy to stay in darkness versus coming out of darkness. What about you, though?
Right. So what I wanted to get to when I mentioned that was basically people like you mentioned earlier, trauma. Some people use past experiences as excuses. Me, some people think I'm cold-hearted because I be like, ain't nobody got time for excuses. And I'm so glad when I was young, my teacher used to always tell us excuses are nothing but bridges, monuments that leads to nowhere. I can't remember who quoted that, but I will never forget
Yeah.
that quote. It was an author that wrote it, but I don't know the author's name. But my teacher used to always tell us that excuses are nothing but bridges built. Nothing but bridges built a monument that leads to nowhere. And so it's crazy how I had 2 brain surgeries and I still can remember that, and yeah. So I am, what you don't know is that I've written a book. I am a domestic violence survivor. I was stabbed in the head by my ex-husband, and it led to me having nerve damage, and I had 2 brain surgeries, and I'm still dealing with it. But the thing is that the reason why I said mental well-being is important, because for a long time that kept me to where I was angry, to where I felt like if I saw
What happened? No
matter, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it
no matter
the pause. You said
no matter what, I realized no matter what God blessed me with, the house, the money, the car, all of that, my heart and my mind, I hadn't grown. I wasn't healthy at all. I made looks healthy because I was working out, because I was going to school, but I was unhealthy. So it took me, I was living in Tulsa for 14 years, right? It took me to move back to Mississippi to face my past for me to move to this place I'm in right now. And that's why I never thought I could do it. But then I'm like, wow, I'm a different woman now because I'm able to come back and face it. So a lot of people are using, and also let me express this to you.
Yeah.
I was molested when I was 6 years old. My mom
Okay.
married the guy, you know.
Wow.
I face that every day, you know. But the thing is, God has put me in this place to it has no control over me.
Yeah.
I am happy. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Like, and I want to make sure everybody else that has dealt with abuse in any type of form, any type of trauma, whether if you've been hit by a car, accident, um, losing a family member, anything, you can get past it. Your situation only has as much power as you give it.
Yeah. Yes. You know something? That's such a major testimony. I did not even know that. Like what? Like
Yeah.
no, that's I mean,
And
that's a lot. That's a lot.
it
You're
is.
so powerful. You know what I mean? Like you're so powerful to even just shake the dust off, you know. And I know that was a hard shake just going through all of the things that you've gone through. I'm just I'm in shock right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never would have thought that. You know what I mean? Never would have thought that. And
But
the fact that you're not wearing it like a badge of honor, like so many people they do. They pull that victim card and they wear it. They wear it like their Sunday's best. And you don't have to though. You don't have to. God is going to use everything that happens to you. And clearly, you're a true representation of that. Look at how he's using you
thank
right
you.
now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's a lot. But I'm sorry. What
I
did I
have
miss
to
the question?
say, people tend to forget that
Mhm.
God take us through things to separate us.
Yes.
He separates the chosen ones. And when he separates you, he is now molding you and polishing you. And you have to go through these different tests and able to grow to be able to testify, to be able to be a witness. You can't just go through something and now just say, oh, now I can lead the flock.
Yes.
No, God has to train you. He has to mold you. It's like going through the army. You got to go through different levels when you're dealing with God.
Yes, and I want to say this. I'm working on some material right now, and it's called Being in the Hidden Place. And basically what you just said, how things happen to you and God needs to he needs to separate you. And a lot of people mistake when God separates you from when you separate yourself from people. That's isolation. God
Mm-hmm.
hides
Mm-hmm.
you. You know, and for a long time I just been feeling like I've been in a hidden place. And it's
Mm-hmm.
you know when you're in a hidden place because you feel so misunderstood by people who you love, and you you have this constant desire to be better every single
Mm-hmm.
day. You're in the hidden place. God has chosen you, but not only has God chosen you, you've chosen God. God won't hide
Amen.
you until he knows that you're so for real with him. Like I said, before I really fully understood what coming to Christ meant, I felt like I was an emotional Christian. Like many of the people who are probably watching, they think that just because they cry on Sundays, or you know, the music moves them and they cry and they go up to the front and they get baptized, but they don't do any changing. You're 9 times out of 10, you're just emotional. And an emotional Christian is an unstable Christian. It's like it's a person who is saying they love God, but their heart posture is saying something totally different. And people think that a Christian has a certain look physically. A Christian is dressed by the words and the actions. You get what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
the hidden place is something serious, and is where God grows you. And in order to grow, like I said before, you have to be pruned. He's pruning you in the hidden place. I'm the hidden place is a tough place to be. I'm in a tough place right now. I'm gonna just be honest. You know, I'm still in the hidden place. But you was about to say
And
something.
I had to be quiet just for 1 minute because for those of you that really know God, you know when the spirit start to hit you when you start talking about certain things. And let me tell you something. God is transitioning me so much that I know when the spirit is there. And y'all
Oh
can
my.
call it fake, you can call it phony, you can call it whatever you want. But let me tell you something. I have a relationship. And let me tell you another thing. I understand what Promise was talking about when she said an emotional Christian. I used to be that emotional Christian. I used to sit in church and I used to cry to the music. And I used to cry in secret. And I was ashamed to raise my hand. I was ashamed to stand up and move around. And it's still a transition because of the fact that the full throttle that I know I can give God, the full fight that I know I can stand
Yeah.
up with God with when it comes to the enemy, I still ain't came all the way out, baby. But
Yeah.
I'm halfway. I can truly say I'm almost there because I don't care no more.
Yes.
I don't care because it's cool to praise God to me now. It is so cool to love on God. I'm not ashamed. Do you hear me? I'm not ashamed to break out in the prayer. And that's when you know you are a woman. You have transitioned because your spirit has opened up
Yes, and I
and
want
allowed
to.
God to come in. Go ahead.
Yes, and I want to add to that because when you said I don't care, a lot of people would take that, and it's when you don't have a spiritual set of ears, not to say people don't, but you have to be in a relationship with Jesus to understand that I don't care doesn't mean I don't care what people think. I don't care means I don't care about this life. I'm going to allow God to use me however he wants to use me. Even if everybody think I'm crazy. Noah didn't care. He didn't care. Everybody was calling him crazy when he was building the ark, and look who was saved. It's not that Noah was just
Mhm.
chosen. Those other people could have been chosen as well if they would have believed. He went out and told everyone what was going to happen, and no one believed. So it's like when you can die to yourself and say, okay, I messed up, but I don't care. I'm gonna let God use it. Or, okay, I messed up. I don't care. I'm gonna let God use it. I know I repeated that twice because when I did the video last week or about 2 weeks ago about the rose, the sex
Mhm.
toy, so
Mhm.
many people was like thinking that was funny, but I didn't make that for entertainment. That took a lot for me. Number one, I just admitted openly that I have or had is the word, a connection with a foreign object. You get what I'm saying? That people are normalizing. And what you don't know is I didn't care about me in that moment. I cared more about telling people, man, this is keeping you separated from God. And I'm showing you me through it. But the amount of women and the amount of people in the comments that really think it's a joke. You know, God looking at everything. You cannot have full access to God if you're not willing to give yourself up, die to yourself. When he told the disciples, and he'll tell people, leave everything and follow me, he is talking about everything. And you can't do it overnight. Don't get me wrong. Like you said, everybody is still in a transitional stage. But the more you let go, the more he's going to give you. So, every day my goal is to just die to the promise I was yesterday. And when I wake up in the morning, I want to die to this promise that you're talking to right now. It's some stuff that I could have done better today. Every day is about being better. How do you become better? You stop being delusional. Stop being delusional. You're not the best version
Right.
of yourself. You're not the best version of yourself. This is the best you have today, but if he wake you up tomorrow, you need to be better than you was yesterday. That's growth. That's
Amen.
intentional growth. You
I
know.
want to say something. I want to say something about that rose situation.
Okay.
Even I said something to myself because I own a rose, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But every time I pick up that toy, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real because I still got some growing to do, right? Spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I noticed when we think about what that rose allow us to do, have a
Yeah.
orgasm, right?
Yeah.
That orgasm, what y'all not thinking about in the spiritual realm, is opening up doors for more demons. Because what it does is give you that feeling, and that feeling is a spirit release. A spiritual, why y'all think we have spiritual ties during sex? It's a spirit release between you and another individual. That's why that feeling comes about. People don't think about that.
And I want to also add this. it's a form of sexual immorality. And I made a video one time and they clowned me because I said sexual immortality. I don't know how I messed that word up, but the message was clear. The things that you doing, like how they promoting the music, get slutted out, spit on me, do this, do that. Man, look, y'all tripping. Y'all better stop doing that stuff. And the thing about the roles and the thing about anything that's sexually immoral is when you're not with the person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. God, he provided, he created sex for us to feel good, but we have so many blockers like sex toys and pornography. We have so many things that are robbing us from that true experience that God has for us, that he created for man and woman. I hate to tell the crowd, not woman and woman, not man and man, man and woman, like together, a unit. And I know people have difference of opinions with that, but the truth is just the truth. The roles, any type of sex toy, anything that you're doing, that when you get done with it, you feel bad. Like, come on, you couldn't feel good. I know I didn't feel good using it. It was okay for the moment, but then after I was like, dang, bro, why did I just do that? But for a minute, I thought it was normal. I thought, okay, well, I don't have I'm not in a relationship, so okay, because that's what's being normalized. And it's just not normal, though. It's not normal. And it's going to rob you from the experience that you're supposed to have with the person that you're supposed to be with. That's just the truth. We have to appropriate sex.
Right. But I also want to say this. People don't understand, like, how the conversation kind of transition a little bit. It's because sex is also traumatizing. Because if you're dealing with
comments.
Let's see here.
Did somebody ask how the conversation shifted?
No, I kind of put that out there just in case.
Okay.
Y'all.
Okay.
Chris said y'all love the rose more than y'all love your man. David Bland did make a comment and said that's growth when we was talking about loving on God and body. But I do want to say this.
I did want to say that is trauma. You're right.
Sex is traumatizing. The reason why I say that is because a lot of people may not let out sex. I mean, a lot of people may not let out their anger physically, and they may not even say it, but they use sex to get over things. They use sex to kind of tie people in, that's what people do. People are not having sex with you to actually make love to you anymore, or to make you feel as if they want to be one with you. People are now using sex as a coping method.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. Like it's like alcohol. It's like a drug. And that's why I say it's traumatizing as well. Because you release those chromosomes and stuff that to help you kind of relax your body and your mind. I know y'all had to fix my wig. Don't worry about it. But I just want y'all to know this. Sometimes pay attention to the person you're dealing with, because a lot of times these people are already dealing with things and they're using sex to cope with it. So that's why you need to heal in your heels and in your boots, because there are females and there are males that's doing the same thing, and they don't care about how many people they have sex with. They don't care about diseases. They don't care about none of that. They don't care about feelings or none of that. So y'all need to pay attention to that as well.
Yes, and may I add something real quick? I know we have to move on. I'm guessing I can't see the time. You just let me.
Well, actually, we're still on time because you didn't talk about yourself much, so you left a lot of room.
I was hoping that, because I was like, I don't want to talk that much about myself. I want to get to the topic, But I wanted to say, when you study the Bible and everything, you realize that the act and the art of sex is looked at as marriage in God's eyes. And that's all. Those are the only eyes that matter. If you never jump the broom, if you never have a large ceremony, everything like that, That's not marriage to God. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Mhm.
form of, because he does want you to, have a witness there and stuff like that. But once you lay down with someone, he's looking at that like that's your husband or that's your wife. That's why the woman at the well, he asked her about her husband. She said, "I'm not married." Jesus was like, "But you've been sleeping with you got 5 husbands," meaning she had slept with 5 people. So
Mhm.
think about how intimate sex is, and think about it like this. Would you marry that person? Would you stand in front of a crowd of people and say, "This is my one"? A lot of times, if we honest with ourselves, we wouldn't. We wouldn't. I've been with people I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't even want to be out
Mhm.
with them. And that's like you said, it's something that you do in the darkness. And you don't really want
Mhm.
people to know. You don't want people to know anything that you are doing that you're not okay with walking out in broad daylight doing. Don't do it. That's with anything. If you got to hide anything about yourself, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. I feel like everything you said was right because I've been in those shoes.
Yeah.
But I've also been in the shoes to where I felt like, I got to one point in my life where I didn't want to have sex with you if I didn't see myself with you.
Right.
Because then at that point, I'm lowering my self value. I
Yeah.
felt less than a woman,
Yeah.
or less than a girl because I still had some growing to do.
Yeah.
I felt like the scum on the bottom of somebody's shoe if I slept with somebody that I couldn't see myself with, that I didn't think that could complement the woman inside of me.
Yeah. And that's major for you to say, and it's so transparent. And I appreciate transparency. I hope the people that are watching appreciate transparency, because even a person who has dealt with sexual assault and sexual trauma, you start to think that this is just normal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you with somebody, y'all probably go do it, and that's just go be what it's go be. And I had that way of thinking, like many other women have that way of thinking. And men are now being looked at as, everybody's being looked at just like a piece of meat.
Right.
Everybody is sexualized, everybody is being lusted after, which is a clear indication that everyone has a sexual demon that they need to speak against. They need to speak against it. And it's not an easy demon to shake, but it is a demon. It's a spirit. It's a spirit. It's the same spirit that got a million girls right now doing is all their challenge. That's a spirit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And nothing against that, but like that's a spirit. You can see it when you've been delivered from it. I've been delivered from the spirit of lust, you know.
Yeah.
And but as times that I'm still tempted, because you always have the possibility to become a backslider. You know what I mean? But
Let me
lusting
ask you a
is
question.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I just
No, go
wanted to ask
ahead.
you a question. So, if you're with somebody
Hmm.
and every time that person is around you, like y'all are really into each other, and every time that person is around you, immediately you get aroused and you just like it, just to hear their voice or the touch of them. Do you consider that still lusting for them, or is that like just a natural attraction?
No, that's just attraction.
Yeah.
Attraction is, you know, you have your type that you're attracted to, and a lot of times people are attracted to spirits. People are attracted to physical attraction, spiritual attraction, mental attraction, but God created that for sure to just appropriate it. Lust is when you have no self-control. Attraction
Mm-hmm.
is I'm digging you, I like you, but we don't have to cross that line. Lust is I want to experience you now. You know what I mean? And if a person who is attracted to you in a healthy way, y'all are both kind of be on the same page about how detrimental entering into sex would be for the whole situation. And
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, lust can be, the spirit of lust is attractive or attracted by a lonely person. If you're lonely,
Mm-hmm.
that's how that spirit of lust is going to enter into you, because you're gonna your thought process and how you feel about yourself is clouded because you want a companion. Everybody wants to be with someone. Everybody wants to have love. And when you don't understand what love is, you don't understand that you've settled for lust. You're not in a loving relationship. You're in a lusting relationship, a lustful relationship. But you don't understand that until you've done some self-development, just being real with yourself, and also exposing yourself to healthy living, other people,
Right.
people who've been together, people where you can tell that they have a different type of love for one another. A lot of times, women and men are trying to figure this thing out on their own in their own head. You don't have enough information. And even with studying the Bible and having a relationship with God, God has to use people to also help deliver you and show you a different way of living. A lot of stuff is environmental.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a quick break, y'all, and we'll be right back.
Take a break. DJ Pressure. We taking a break. Stay tuned. DJ Pressure. We'll be back soon. We taking a break. DJ Pressure. Take a break. Coming soon. DJ Pressure. See you soon. Take a break. 5, 4, 8. We coming back. 3, 2.
Welcome to our music family.
Hey guys, it's your girl DJ Pressure, and I need you to stay tuned for It's Crazy Q Time. Crazy questions just may get you crazy answers with DJ Pressure. Here, guests will give you details and tips on how it is in the music industry or life experiences.
Okay, so you guys, I am DJ Pressure, and we're talking about healing in your heels and in your boots. And so, crazy Q times, crazy questions lead to crazy answers. And I just want to ask you: have you ever talked to yourself and answered yourself back?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. She's like, yes. So exactly, I'm gonna answer that question too. I have multiple times, and they say if you do it, then you're crazy. Do you think so?
Well, give me an example of what you mean talking.
Okay, so when I just anything, talk to yourself and then answer yourself back. Like me personally, I'll look in the mirror and I'll just be like, now girl, you ain't supposed to do that. And then I'm like, girl, you sure right.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that is healthy. What? That's like healthy.
Yeah.
And you see how something as simple as that, if you say stuff out loud, you allow yourself to not only see where your brain is, but just kind of digest what's going on instead of trying to figure it out without ever opening up your mouth. But even the fact of you saying, people say that that's crazy, that is insane. It's like we're normalizing things that are actually crazy. It's crazy not to talk out loud. Right? It's crazy not to talk out loud. But then you say it's crazy to talk out loud and then answer yourself. What? No, you need to say some of this stuff out loud.
Yeah.
If you said it out loud, you wouldn't do it, or you wouldn't be involved in certain stuff.
I think it's definitely important for people when it comes to healing to know how to communicate with themselves, and it may require you answering back to yourself to let yourself know, like, hey, you're bigger than this, you're greater than this, like you don't have to do this, you don't have, sometimes you have to have those conversations with yourself.
Yes, I encourage you to always have conversations with yourself. If you can't have a conversation with yourself, how can you have a conversation with another person? If you can't take off the mask with yourself, how can you take off the mask with another person? Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Here you go.
Put yourself on mute.
I made a mistake.
Oh.
Okay, so it's
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I keep making mistakes and hitting the mute button. But sometimes you have to talk to yourself and you have to tell yourself, girl, stop. Stop. Somebody get you this mad. You don't have to, past trauma stuff make you angry, make you stand out. Stop. You don't have to do it. And sometimes you have to talk to yourself. And so I wanted to kind of give tips before we go to ways.
It's already time.
It's about that time. We got like 13 minutes, but
oh my God, I feel like we just getting started. What? Come on. Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Listen, but you know what? This is my podcast, so I can run it how I want to run it. My thing is that I do think that this conversation definitely needed more than an hour, but sometimes I like to respect people's time. So
me?
Here's if it's okay with you,
other folks' time.
Yeah, anybody's time. But
other folks.
I was gonna say, if you would like, because I do feel like we still got a lot to talk about, we can push it out 30 minutes and kind of.
I say let's do it. I think we're just getting comfortable. I think we're just getting into it, and I definitely feel good about the direction we're going in. If you have the time, let's keep it. Let's keep time. I do too.
I have the time. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm that break that I just cut short. I'm going to make sure I give a full break, and we're going to come back and we're going to finish off the conversation we were having prior, dealing with sex and the transitioning of spiritual emotions and stuff like that when dealing with different partners and because we got other things we had to attack and I had it listed here we haven't gotten to, so we're gonna take that break, and this time we're gonna come back full throttle, guns loaded, y'all, and we're gonna get it out here because y'all need this. Okay, I need it. I love y'all. Stay tuned. It's your girl DJ Pressure.
Take a break. DJ Pressure. We taking a break. Stay tuned. DJ Pressure. We'll be back soon. We taking a break. DJ Pressure. Take a break. Coming soon. DJ Pressure. See you soon. Take a break. 5, 4, 8. We coming back. 3, 2.
Welcome to our music family.
Take a break. DJ Pressure. We taking a break. Stay tuned. DJ Pressure. We'll be back soon.
Hey guys, it's your girl DJ Pressure. We took a quick break. We'll just kind of wrap things up, and we are back. I'm going to give Promise a little time to get back, but I just want to let you guys know that this conversation is definitely hitting home because there's some things that I feel like God take us all through just so that we can be able to kind of help the next person. And I feel like whenever you guys are living a lifestyle, you know what God is teaching you lessons, and you got a next generation coming up behind you, and you're not, being a vessel, you're wasting your life, to me, because it's important for all of us to, be a role model or, try to help and guide the next generation. So sometimes just know God take you through things just so he can use you, and he used everybody, not just the rich, not just the poor. He used everybody. You hear me? And if y'all think about the Bible, God used all the people that was people turned their back on, and there was alcoholics, I wouldn't say strippers, but they was like, the women that was having sex all the time, and
Yeah.
it was the Jezebel. Jezebel was the one that was having sex work, the one that was always. Listen,
No.
I'm still learning the Bible
Jezebel. Actually, Jezebel was a married woman. Jezebel
was she?
was married.
But did she have? Was it?
Well, see, people associate the Jezebel spirit with the loose woman. You know what I mean? The Jezebel spirit, when you really study it, is actually a spirit that's controlling. She used herself to control situations. You know what I'm saying? But Jezebel had a husband. Jezebel was controlling, but I get what you're saying.
Okay, so she just taught me something on that, because like I told y'all, I'm still learning the Bible myself. But that's why it was important for me to go to Bible study yesterday, and I missed it because I wasn't feeling good. But but I will say this: that's why we always have to be willing to hear other people, because sometimes we don't know it all.
You got me second guessing myself now. Let me make sure Jezebel had a husband. Hey, we gonna let y'all know for sure. I'm almost sure Jezebel had a husband.
Listen, we probably could Google it. Google probably tell us way quicker. But talking about healing physically, mentally, and spiritually, and we need to know where to draw the line, when it comes to the people that we deal with, spouses, boyfriend, girlfriends, family, friends. We need to know how to draw the line to heal ourselves. Sometimes people bring you their drama, their trauma, their problems, and then they put it all on you. And you have to be able to, cut ties with people when it's not helping you.
Yes.
What you think about that?
I think that we're living in a world where people are consumed with being people pleasers. And typically when you are a people pleaser, you have a hard time setting boundaries. We're living in a time, and we've always lived in this time, where people don't know how to say no. The word no is almost non-existent. And then when you hear the word no, you're offended. So, number one, a world full of people pleasers. Where does people pleasing start? At home. Most people can't leave situations when they get out into the world because they wasn't able to set boundaries within their own family. What you have to understand is your family is your family for a reason. No matter how messed up you think they are or how great you think they are, God allowed you to have those type of people around you to teach you about how to operate in the world with people that are just like the folks in your family. But people just think they just accidentally ended up in this family. No, like God needed you to have that type of uncle, that type of aunt, that type of mom, that type of dad. He gonna use all of that. And he also, especially if you chosen, which everybody could be chosen, everybody could be picked. Yeah, you just got to be for real with him. He waiting to see how you go respond to your family members. You know what I mean? He waiting to see how you go respond to that brother who said that to you, especially if you saying, now I'm a believer. Now I'm following Jesus. God is looking for now your response. So setting boundaries could never be mastered if you don't admit and accept that you're struggling in the area of people pleasing. You need to kill that spirit first. Then setting boundaries will come.
So what I just did, what I just did was, because there may be some people coming through that have questions or may want to tap into the conversation. My first time in a long time, I went on and posted a link. And I want you guys to know that if you come in, the first sign of disrespect or any type of ignorant behavior, you're going to be kicked out. We're grown people having grown folks conversation. You can bring, you can come in, you can, ask us opinions, or you can kind of tell us experiences, but any type of inappropriate behavior, I will kick you out. Are you okay with that promise?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, forgiving people when it comes to trauma, and a lot of people don't know how to properly forgive. They just say, I forgive you. When you think about properly forgiving someone, what's that process for you?
You know, the promise that has transitioned into a woman, I understand that forgiving is something you really need to study God's character on forgiving. When Jesus forgives us, he forgets it. He forgets it. Because you cannot love people if you're constantly keeping receipts. If somebody say they sorry, whether you believe they meant it or not, forgive them. As a matter of fact, if a person doesn't say that they're sorry, forgive people who treat you bad. But you have to be in a certain place to operate like this. I don't know if the people who are listening are in that place of not being retaliatory. Did I say that right? Not having a retaliatory type spirit, not retaliating. Just in case I didn't say it right. But I forgive you. It's something that doesn't even have to be said. It's a posture. It's a posture. You're just going to operate as if not that it doesn't matter, because you hurt. We're human. People say stuff to you that hurts you. They do stuff to you that hurts you. But operating out of agape love is like, okay, that person hurt me. I'm going to empathize with them because they're probably sick. People who hurt people, they're just sick. Emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. That's why they say hurt people hurt people. You know what I mean? I'm not hurt anymore. So I understand that you just
I agree.
Yeah, you just said that to me. You just did that to me because you're still seeing the world from a different place, from a victim place or from a hurt place. And I'm seeing the world as something totally different. So I hate you did that to me, but I also hate you did that to God. That's how I look at it, man. You just really did that to God. God not playing about me. I'm going to forgive you because God will forgive you.
So let me ask you something. If you have somebody that's going around the world speaking on things that happen to them coming up, but they're using it as a way to kind of mentor others that's going through it or been through it, do you think because they keep bringing up their situation or speaking on it that they haven't forgiven the person that they was hurt by?
Oh no, you're supposed to use your past experiences to help others and to also heal yourself. Forgetting is not, like you can't erase the memory. That's a sickness. That's a person who has memory loss. No, you got that memory for a reason. It's just all about how you use that memory. A person who has not really truly forgiven a person is working towards trying to hurt that person who hurt them. But if a person treats you a certain way, don't try to sugarcoat what they did to you to protect their image or protect their reputation. If you want me to speak highly of you, you would give me something to speak about. If I encounter you as a bad experience, then that's on you. That's why they say, first impression is everything. Or Cat Williams said it best. He said, if you want me to say something better about you, then you have to do better. So no, if your testimony is your testimony, if you want to talk about it until the day you lay down, that's your testimony. And that's part of, a person having to constantly be reminded about something. Let's just say your situation, for example, with your ex. I'm just using it as an example because you already talked about it.
Yeah.
If you're using your voice and your experience to push the needle forward to help other women that are probably in a domestic violence situation, anything like that, and let's just say he feel like you using it against him, what? That's the consequence. Like, what? You did that to me. So I can't make you feel better about something that you did to me. You and God need to have a sit down. But as long as your heart posture is really focused on, hey, this is what happened to me, you know, and this is how you can avoid this happening, or if this is happening to you, this is what you should do. The world wants to silence people. They'll say, well, that's, oh, you keep talking about it. No, you should talk about things that God has allowed you to come through. What? You don't seem like you in a hurt place, you know, just using you as an example. But you can kind of see when a person is like how you have celebrities, or you have people who are putting a relationship out there, but then they going back to the person and then putting it back out there again, but then going back to the person. Those people are not forgiving each other truly, and they're not trying to be better. So, you know, it's so many different forms of how you can appropriate using your testimony or using your past to help. It's different ways to do it, but it's also a way where you can continuously just use that to keep a person who you say you forgiven in a bad, dark place, you know?
You know, for some reason, when you was talking, the first couple that came to my mind was Krishan and Blueface. You know, that is the perfect example for everything that we're talking about, because it's a lot of growing that needs to happen. It's a lot of forgiving. It's a lot of spiritual soul ties, all that stuff in that relationship. And even with mine, you know, when I was married to the guy, you know, and that's another thing. A part of me sometimes hate saying, you know, he did this to me, was because it's almost like he gets a trophy. You get what I'm saying? It's almost like he gets a reward because his name or his it's not that I haven't forgiven him. Sometimes I really don't even know if I fully have. But I know that it doesn't upset me anymore to talk about it, or I've accepted whatever the situation is. And I don't too much carry.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say, but why do you think it is like a trophy for him though?
Because for somebody that I don't want to be relevant, in my life, somehow still gets to be relevant.
Well, this is not your life anymore, remember? You transition. Yeah, you know, so that's just something that, you know, is easy to forget that this is not your life anymore. You know,
right.
Like God is truly using something that traumatized you to glorify him. Look at how many people you're going to help become free through domestic violence or from domestic violence and stuff like that. I mean, I have some questions that I would like to personally ask you, just with you telling me what you went through. You know, because I'm sure you understand the early stages of being with a narcissistic person or dealing with. I'm sure you have all of that information. So sometimes, and this is, I have to meditate on this all the time. Romans 12, it talks about the renewing of the mind. It's easy for us to think that he's getting a trophy for it. Oh, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for what happened to me. But if you think about it, just put Jesus in the place of yourself. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like even with him being crucified, that one act was used for the world right now today. And the people
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, the people who did that to him, they still have to be talked about. Why? Because if you erase history, it's going to repeat itself. If you stop talking about this, one day you go wake up and you go be in probably the same situation in a different way. It might not be physical abuse, but it could be emotional abuse, because now you've erased a memory that you need. You know what I'm saying? Don't look at it like that.
I'm glad you said that, because my mind, the way I think, I said to myself, you know, they said people talked about Jesus, you know, and then they hung, you know, they put him on a cross, you know, crucified him. But the thing is that every day we're treated just like he was treated. You know, we're treated just like he was treated. And the way you're being crucified may not be the way that I'm crucified. My crucifixion to stand for God, to continue to be a vessel, probably was just my situation, going through that trauma and still believing and having a heart and a will to love and serve God. Just like Jesus, you know, he had to listen to his father. He had to obey, you know, and he was a child of God. We are a child of God. We have to also go through our different type of ways of dealing with the world and being crucified, but it may not be being hung on a cross. It may be domestic violence. It may be, you know, some type of physical or mental trauma, whatnot. That's the way I think about things. Because at the end of the day, we have. Go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say, at the end of the day, we have to understand.
Yeah.
It's that pain that draws us to God.
Yeah.
With a lot of people don't understand. When you're happy, some people don't even think about God. But when you're hurting, the first person you call on is God. So he has to take you through that level of pain so you can realize who your father is.
You know, and I want to say something just to shed a little more light on Jesus. We all have a cross. Once you decide to, the cross, people think that it's this pretty thing that you wear around your neck, you know, but the cross is what you go die for. It's a beat up thing. Jesus didn't hang on no pretty cross. And God doesn't take us through anything. We take ourselves through that stuff. And then he uses that stuff to get you back to him because you're away from him. So for example, a lot of people won't commit to God because they think that he's doing bad things. Death is not, and I want to just say this, death is not a bad thing. We gotta die. Like, we gotta die. You know, it ain't no escaping that. That's a physical death. But a spiritual separation, that's a choice. So, like, for example, you said you dealt with sexual assault when you was a young girl. That's not your fault.
Right.
That was a person in your life that made a decision and projected something on you. But children, God protects children. Look at you right now. Like, that didn't, you know, bind you. He's going to protect a child, especially when something bad is happening to a child. Children are children so that adults can protect them. So even if your parents are not doing right by you, God is covering you. But when you enter into adulthood, when you enter into saying that you've grown and stuff like that, when you know what's right from wrong, when you start feeling conviction, I don't know what age you started feeling it, but that's when you start becoming the prodigal son. And so you're far away from God. And so it's like, it's not that your ex-husband did what he did to you. The root work is, how did you get there? How did you miss those signs? You know, just like with me.
I'm glad
yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad you said those two things, because it's like people don't understand. Even I have to process things that I say, dealing with my condition. I have 3 brain conditions. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when I talk, just like, you know, you may have to process it as a normal person, but I have to really, like, I need, like, okay, girl, you about to say this, you got to get, but you caught me when you said God don't take you through anything, we take ourselves through it. And you're right. That's something I will not disagree with, because you're right. Because I always tell people, we have 2 choices.
Yeah.
God give us a left and a right for a reason.
Yeah.
And based off that left and that right is based off what road we're gonna take, what trials and tribulations we're gonna go to go through to get to God. So I agree with you with that. Like, it's not God, it's us. Jesus died on the cross to give us an option.
Yeah.
And we make those choices. And decisions we make reflect on the consequences. And then, like you said, based off our choice, God uses that to kind of circle us back to him, because at the end of the day, we can't forget who he is.
Yeah. And Jesus was tempted just like we're tempted today. But temptation is the reason he didn't fall victim like many of us, because a lot of times you don't know that you're entering into sin. You don't know that you're entering into a domestic relationship. You don't know that you're in the midst of, let's just say, a homosexual spirit or any type of spirit. When you don't know what you don't know. So God understands that. But it's like, once you come into the truth, that's when you got to start choosing what road you go take. Everything is a domino effect. If you are a kid and you're in an unstable situation, and just because you have a 2-parent household, that doesn't mean the situation is stable. But everything starts from you being a child. If your parents don't do right by you, something, and I try to be careful with what I say, because parents are not perfect. Parents are not perfect. And everybody say, and me just saying I'm not a parent, but I was a child. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know some of this stuff. When people say it's no book on parenting, it is, though. You know what I'm saying? It's certain stuff that you have to do in order for your kid to at least be close to the right road to take. And the road should be Jesus. So if you have so many missing things as a kid, of course you're going to grow up and touch the stove a couple of times because nobody told you not to. So it's like, you could be thrown off by a guy who's super nice, but he got a demon on the inside of him. But you don't know that because you ain't never seen no active man anywhere. Now that's me. I'm having to learn so much about dating and relationships just kind of on my own, because I didn't have a father. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. And I'm not saying that it's his fault. I'm just saying how.
And that's traumatizing.
Yes, that is so traumatizing, because we was created to have those two things for a reason. Everything about Jesus, God allowed us to see his son in the way that he is allowing us to live, with a mother and a father, a common life, a common name. He had a stepfather. Look at how many step parents don't even step up and just take that role serious. Some people lost their parents due to death, and they have a person in their life that could be a figure, but adults are also so focused on themselves that they don't even realize it's a kid in the room. A lot of kids are exposed to stuff because the adults are forgetting that children are around. So you don't know.
I'm glad you said that too.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that too, because what led to me being molested at an early age was my mom. She was a gambler. She stayed out all the time. She was dating this guy, and she trusted him to watch us, right? And they're married today. Like, they still together. But the thing is that as adults, we forget that kids have to be. Now, I'm gonna say we, because I protect mine all the time. Like, I'm on mine, but I'm not perfect. I do miss moments.
Yeah.
But things like leaving my kids with a stranger because of what happened to me, I dare not. But also, it don't have to be a stranger. It could be a family member.
That's what I was going to say.
This is my first time saying it publicly, but I had a family member. To molest.
Yeah.
And I never said it publicly, but I'm saying it now because that family member can't say nothing to me.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't forgive you. It's because we are two different people. Your energy and my energy. I'm not messing with your demons.
Yeah, and forgiving a person doesn't mean they have access to you No, forgive people and move on. The door can be closed. You know what I'm saying? That's your choice. But
Right.
I want to touch on what you said about it doesn't have to be a stranger. You know what I'm saying? And this is me coming from I can't help but mention God, y'all. I wish I could say this stuff without saying Jesus or without saying my relationship with God. I wish I
They need
could,
to hear it.
but I just can't. Right? I'm gonna just tell y'all, a stranger is a person who is not. Come on. A stranger, okay, is a person who is openly displaying that they're far away from God. Okay, that could be a person who is, I try not to talk about my family. Lord knows I do, but it was a person in my family who just openly talked sexual all the time. Nobody ever should have been left with this person. Not that this person did something to you physically, but she, whoever y'all think, I don't know who watching, they did something to you mentally, emotionally. See, a demon enters into you in so many different ways. A spirit enters into you in so many different ways. So parents, it's not even that person is a stranger. That person doesn't know God. And a person who knows God is going to respect the fact that, okay, such and such left her child in my possession. At least let me make sure I do the best I can with this child in my possession. It could be your family. It could be anybody. A person who is not, if you could tolerate being around them as an adult, that's one thing. But children shouldn't be subjected to certain stuff. But at the same time, look at how many people are upset at their mom for what someone else did. Like, for example, with me, I was mad at my mama for a long time, but my mama ain't the one who touched on me. What? My mama ain't did nothing like that to me. But the devil will have you thinking, because he loves to separate families, the devil will have you thinking that your mom was negligent, when in fact that adult chose to do that. Whoever did what they did to you, they did that. Your mama didn't do it. I ain't talking about your mama, because that is a different situation. You say she married to
Oh, I was just about to ask you a question, though. It's okay. I was about to ask you a question but go ahead, finish that first, and then I'm gonna ask you a question.
Just basically a lot of mother-daughter relationships, father-daughter, father-son, mother-son relationships are separate because the person who is the child, whether you're a child or an adult now, you're blaming your parents for something that they did not do. I mean, my mom I don't think for one second she thought that people would say certain stuff around us, do certain stuff around us, do certain stuff to us. You get what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, parents are going to work. I was raised by a single parent. You feel me? That's already something against her. But guess what? It's also not her fault that my daddy wasn't in my life. He chose that. And a lot of times it's like we living in a world where everybody is blaming really the wrong person for what happened. If someone does something to you, that person is to blame. Because even if your mama knew, at the end of the day, that person didn't have to do. Even if your daddy knew, at the end of the day, that person still should have had enough self-control not to do certain stuff to you. Just hypothetically speaking. Right. But now if they know, they don't need to believe in nobody with nobody. But I don't think for one second my mama was aware of what certain people would do around her kids and say around her kids. You know what I'm saying? How could she have known she wasn't there? And that wasn't in a place where she was neglecting us. Nah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What you
well, I wanted to say, like, my mom totally different. You know, it was more like I was trying to tell her, she didn't want to listen. And as soon as the school gets involved, it's like, oh, you little lying ass little girl, or, you know, all the disrespectful names. And you still, you know, my thing is this. What I don't like about parents is their choice to listen to their kids. You have to listen. Kids may be kids, but Kids are not respected enough as kids. Like, the reason why I say that is because a child don't come out the blue with stuff.
Right.
They had to be exposed to something.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's a child telling a lie, that child had to get that lie from somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you. What do
So
you
if
think
that
could be
child
done?
went in, you said, what do I think can be done?
Yeah, to change that, because I agree with you. I don't think enough adults listen to children, in an appropriate way, a way where, it's a two-way communication. Parents are being dictators. You don't have to dictate to your child. That's not even a form of love. You're supposed to have open love with your children. Children are not born bad. That's a learned behavior. Children are not born gay. That's a learned behavior. Children are not born as like thieves and stuff like that. That's learned. Now, at the end of the day, children still choose. They still have their own brain and everything like that. But I remember times where adults around me, if I said I was hungry, they'd be like, "You ain't hungry. I was tired." You ain't tired. So if everybody is constantly telling you that you're not what you're telling them that you are, or constantly telling you, shooting down your feelings towards certain situations, you're going to grow up and become an adult who doesn't trust themselves. God is currently working on me in the area of trusting me. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. What adults don't understand is that before you become an adult, you are a child, right? And as a child, being exposed to things and the way you're treated by other adults create demons. When you got a child that's probably telling the truth, and you treat them like a liar, then they're gonna become a liar.
Yeah, exactly.
If you got a child, you got a child, they don't steal, but you treat them like they steal, they're gonna feel like they might as well steal.
Hey, you just made it so plain. You said something.
I mean, sometimes we got to understand with our kids, we create those demons. Sometimes, if you got a child that like to fight, it's because they watch you fight.
Yeah.
Or they watch somebody else fight. They had to be exposed to something to let them know that it was okay. If you got a child that's twerking all the time, it's because mama in front of the TV twerking in front of the child.
Yes, and I also want to say it also boils down to the two people who create the child, which is why it's very important, when you laying down with someone, that person at least has some characteristics that you feel comfortable with flowing into your child, because it's still a spiritual thing. Y'all just created something, and it came from both parents. You get what I'm saying? So if people say, "Oh, you look like your mama, you look like your daddy," but you act like your daddy and you also act like your mama too. That's why I remember I was in a relationship, super great guy, and we was going through like marriage counseling and stuff just to see if we were a good fit for each other and everything like that. Highly recommend go to marriage counseling before you get married. Don't wait until the relationship is blown up. And we started talking about children, and I knew for a fact I needed to do some healing. I was really struggling in the area of depression. I didn't know where it was coming from because my mom is not a depressed person. She's a very happy person. But I also don't know my dad. So guess what? I don't, it's so much about me that I didn't know for a long time. And then you have families who are secretive. If y'all just tell the truth about some stuff and stop being so secretive, your kids won't run into certain stuff. But nobody wants to take off the mask. Nobody wants to be vulnerable. Everybody is trying to hide something or keep a secret. And guess what? If you keep that secret, it's going to show up anyway, whether it's through your child or through their child or through a situation. Nothing is kept in the dark. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And I want to speak on that.
Yeah.
That's the reason why my mom and I have such a hard time getting along, because everything that happened to us when I was a kid, and I was going through everything I was going through, she spoke for me, right? She told everybody, oh, she was lying, or, oh, she just wants some attention, or, oh, this, that, and that. She told my story for me, right? But now that I'm old enough and people are listening, I tell my story for myself. Yeah. It's a problem because what you wanted to keep in the dark is now in the light. So you hate me for bringing light to my testimony.
Yeah. Yeah, it is easy to paint the child as the liar because the child is depending on the parent. Just like in a relationship, the person who is depending, is easy to paint them as the liar because they don't seem to have any power in the situation, when in fact, the person who is taking care, and I'm talking from let's just say a man and a woman together, or a child, a mother and daughter, any type of relationship where someone is overseeing you or helping you or protecting you. It's so easy to make it look like the person that is like a lesser vessel, and don't take that wrong, is the person that's lying or the person that's not being appreciative, when in fact it's actually you, and you have control in this situation. And instead of you just being honest about something that it probably was a mistake, or you probably do feel bad or shameful about it, you are going to continue to care more about your image than mine, or just more about what people say than the truth. People care so much about what other folks think about them that they're willing to allow a relationship between their children to be authentic, real. Everybody, man, I hate you and your mama ain't like on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Because I spent such a long time being upset at my mom. And I used to pray about it so much. And my mom upset at me. Just, life does what life does. And I just had to get real one day. But our situations are totally different. Like, even listening to what you're saying, your mom is going to have to, admit some stuff. And she probably not there.
Yes.
But it's painful when your parents won't admit, because you're still their kid. So it's something in you that wants that closure, that hopes for it. I know for so long, I was just like, dang, I wish me and my mama was cool. I wish she'll just listen to me or trust what I'm saying. Then at the same time, I had to get real with myself. I also needed to listen to her and empathize with her. But like I said, it's just a different story. But parents do need to listen to children, and they also need to accept some of these children. They have developed habits that you need to stop playing about. Like, that child is bad now. That child is a problem now because of something that was overlooked when they were young. And now you have parents who are also just delusional. They think their child does no wrong. And then children who are good children, those parents think that those children are doing wrong. And when you look at the root of the problem, nobody probably really has a relationship, with God.
You want me to? I'm going to tell you the truth. When it comes to my mom, I forgive her.
Yeah.
It's her that can't. I think it's the guilt and the embarrassment that won't allow her to come around the corner.
Yeah.
And also, we have to also recognize that parents can be jealous of their kids. And the reason why I say that is
about that, though. Okay, you was about to tell me.
About the parents being jealous of the kids.
Yeah, I want to know what you really think about that. I want to answer that too.
Okay. So I remember my mom telling me, she said, this is a conversation we had years ago. She said, I said, why do you hate me? She said, I felt like you should have did what I did, was been quiet about what happened. You would have been all right. So basically, you telling me you went through molestation, and she did. She told me, and she said it was her granddad. Now which granddad, I don't know, but I do know she used to live with her grandma, my great grandma. And even saying that, oh Lord, that could open a whole world of fire because I don't know if people really know, that's my mama issue. But she felt like because she was quiet about hers, I should have been quiet about mine. And I remember her telling me that I had a strength that she didn't have. So me personally, I felt like, and then she also told me that I've done things that she wished she could have did.
Right.
Now, did she break it all the way down? No. But the reason why I said parents could be jealous of kids is because sometimes our parents, if we look back at the time that they were brought up, they weren't strong enough to do what we did. The time we're living in now, we have a little bit more power than they had back in the day. So like in my family, I'm the first one to get a bachelor's degree. Like I'm graduating in October. I'm the first one to get a bachelor's degree. I'm the first person to work in radio. I'm the first person to write a book. God used me to break a lot of generational curses. And because of that, you're going to be hated. You're going to be envied. You're going to be treated like the black sheep, And then also, I'm the lightest. I'm out of 9 kids. I'm the lightest child my mom have, And my dad, she was in love with. He broke her heart. Didn't claim the baby, but the baby ended up looking like him anyways. So it's a lot of stuff that I get treatment for is because of what she had to deal with.
Yeah. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. I ain't want to interrupt you. I wanted to say this though, and just hear me out on this. I want you to just be open to what I'm about to say. Do you truly feel like God is using you?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to say this, and hopefully people listening, anybody can be jealous of you, of course, including your parents. Jealousy has no boundaries. It's a spirit. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
We also serve a jealous God. Doesn't mean and jealousy is different. When we're talking about God and we're talking about people are jealous of people. God is jealous when you're serving or idolizing something that's not him. 2 different types of jealousy, but the spirit does exist. So, of course, I think that your parents could be jealous of you. But I just want you to think about it like this. Even for your mama to open up about what happened to her, and she didn't totally open up about it, you have to look at your mom as a sick person. She is sick. But it's hard to accept that, especially when they're your parents, because, and whether people believe it or not, children see the potential in their parents, just like parents see the potential in their children. And it's stuff that I know my mom, like, I wish she could see it like me, but I just continue to intercede for, but I just got to this place not too long ago. I used to kind of expect her to be like me. Like, oh, okay, I spoke up. You should say this, or I did this. You should do this. Think about your life like this. If God has allowed you to be the first to do all of this stuff, it's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Just continue to keep showing yourself. Don't isolate yourself from your family. I'm not saying subject yourself to BS, but think about the story of Joseph. His brothers sold him into slavery. And look at how God positioned him to be the reason that the famine didn't take over, didn't plague the world at that time. And when his brothers came back to him because they needed food, Joseph had a hardened heart. His heart, he felt some type of way towards his brothers, towards his family, because of what happened to him when he was young. And when he encountered his brothers, he said, now I know why God sent me ahead. If God allowed you to be first in all of these areas, he did it so that you can be a representation for your family. Now it's up to them to choose to cross on over. But if these people are far away from God and they don't have any intentions on trying to develop a relationship, you can't help that. But God sent you ahead for a reason. And I do think that your mom, I don't know her, but I think that she just has a lot of healing to do. But she'll probably
Oh, she
never say,
does.
yeah. Has she admitted that though?
No, see, that's the thing.
That's
I
crazy.
know. I know. Okay, so my mom deals with bipolar. My dad deals with bipolar, and he's an alcoholic. But um, my mom is in denial,
Yeah. Yeah.
and but the thing is, she's so smart. You hear me?
Yeah.
That lady is smart.
Yeah.
And if she would have had her mental in the right place, she thinks negative a lot, and that's why we can't really talk neither. Like, I will hang up the phone,
Yeah.
and it's to keep from disrespect. I don't want to disrespect you, but I don't agree with what you're saying right now because I'm not in that negative state.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things I love about my mama. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I love how strong she is, because even to be that negative or that aggressive or that in denial, it takes a lot of strength. You hear me? It takes a lot of
I like
strength
how
to be
you
that
said
way.
that. Yeah. I never thought about it like that. It do take a lot of strength to be in
Girl,
denial.
it takes a lot of willpower to go against the world with in denial.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it's much easier to just admit and move on.
Why don't
But
you
it
think
takes strength.
why don't
Go
you
ahead.
think why don't you think people in general will just take that mask off and just admit anything? Why? Because you know we living in a world where people are just not honest about anything.
Personas.
Okay.
Personas. We giving off these personas like we are these type of people. We're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we have to live up to it.
Yeah.
Even
You know, and
that's just it.
social media, I hate to speak against social media because it could look better if better people just got on social media. But how can social media look better when all of the people who are far away from
Gets all
reality,
attention.
yeah, you know, those people are taking over the internet. The internet is not demonic. God allowed the internet to happen because he wants his messages to be out. He wants people who are representing him to be out in the field on the internet. But a lot of Christians are afraid to get on there and tell their story, or afraid to get on there and say what needs to be said. People are truly just afraid to be regular. I remember when I was in I'm sure you remember that social media thing that happened with a very large content creator. And I recognized how people who have influence, they don't even know how detrimental their actions are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when I was in that situation with that content creator, it was a very hard time for me because
Oh, I know.
I was in like total shock to be attacked like that
Mm-hmm.
and lied on. And then I had to take a step back and think, how did I get in that? And
Mm-hmm.
I was defending my family member who, when you really think about it, and this is how I'm telling you, it's so easy to get distracted. I'm not gonna say I had no business defending him,
Yeah.
but I'll say your family is the family that thinks like you. That's not blood. That's not blood. You get what I'm saying? I don't know what happened for real in the situation. I just know she was capping and she was putting
Mm-hmm.
on. But what I had to realize is God took me through that. Well, I took myself through it because I spoke on something, but he showed me so much in that. He showed me how every situation is not your situation.
Can
You
I
know what
speak
I
on that?
mean? Yeah, for sure.
So that was when I started following you.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I started following you was not to entertain what was going on. It was because I knew how it felt to be you.
Yeah.
I knew I could relate to the you that was being attacked.
Yeah.
So that's what made me start following you. So, and honestly, I think that was a great decision I made, because if people took time out to really listen to you and pay attention to you, you are an amazing person. So, um, a lot of people that they choose to follow on social media, they shouldn't follow. They shouldn't follow. You know, like they should, but like you said, it's the negativity that draws people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you put yourself in that position because I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
That was beneath you.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't have no reason coming at all, because it wasn't your level. It wasn't for you.
Yeah. And I
So
mhm.
when go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, a person who is constantly trying to just be a better version of themselves, I realized that, but not until after it happened. But this is why it is very important to just be okay, because my posture was still in the right area. That still was a black
Mhm.
man being attacked with a partial story that was put on the internet. You get what I'm saying? So even with me speaking up, it showed so much character on my end, because most people knew him and knew his character and didn't speak up. Why? Because people are afraid of internet bullies. The young lady is an internet bully. People are afraid.
But that was a mousetrap. That was a mousetrap for you,
Oh yeah, for sure. That's
spiritually.
why
If you,
that's why I said it's so easy to get distracted. You think that your
yeah,
family is your blood, but your family are people who are thinking like you. But through
yeah,
that, it's just through that situation, God just showed me so much, but it did not feel
uh-huh.
good. I'm talking about just to be like, I ain't even saying nothing bad or derogatory towards none of these folks. I'm just like, this is just wrong. And for your appearance to be attacked, to be called a liar, to be called so many things, to get so many messages, it's like, some, yeah, I did choose to do this, not knowing what I chose to do, but he taught me that your blood is not necessarily your family. When Jesus said, "Who is my brother? Who is my mother?" He was literally
Oh,
saying, "You're not my family if you're not following the same principles that I'm following." And it was beneath me, because the fruits that both of those people produce are not fruits that I produce. We attract two different communities. You're
right.
absolutely right. You know what I mean? You won't know it until you in it though, and you out of it. Hindsight.
The thing, um, if you don't mind me saying, the only thing I could say is, the only time I got a little disappointed at you and me not knowing you, the only reason why I say I got a little disappointed was because when I say I'm not perfect, but God gave me a gift and I
Yeah.
could see things in people, your greatness, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? You had, how do I say this without coming off too strong? But
You gotta just say it. The truth doesn't feel
okay,
good. If it's the truth, it's just not gonna feel good.
you had no business
Yeah.
entertaining and even responding
Mm-hmm.
at all. Like,
You.
and
Mm-hmm.
when you kept trying to, sometimes we think that trying to explain something
Mm-hmm.
helps.
Mm-hmm.
I realize as I grow, explaining
Mm-hmm.
makes it worse,
Mm-hmm.
because once you reach a certain level,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to explain nothing. It is what it is, and I'm done with it.
Yeah. And I have to agree with you on that, simply because in hindsight you can see the traps in hindsight, but I wasn't operating in a way where I wanted to be in anything like that. Like
I
she and I,
know, I
she and I
know.
had a conversation, and when the phone hung up, she did the total opposite of everything that she said she was going to do, and that was perfectly fine. But as far as, I tell anybody this, if someone is speaking against your character and someone is lying on you, I wouldn't say don't defend yourself, But I would say don't defend yourself, because the truth is going to show. Your character is going to be the truth of it. So it's like, even with me using the personal attacks and the messages, I still tried to show something positive through it. Like, this is what they're saying about me, but this is dirt being thrown on a seed. That's still just like my platform, just kind of showing myself in a transparent way. But I agree with you. If someone lying on you, you don't, I wouldn't say anything about it. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I'm not even realizing that this is how it's unfolding. When you in it, you in it. You can't see. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely highly don't recommend any internet beef with a person who is doing everything for likes and followers, you know.
Social media
Mm-hmm.
confrontation is the worst.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because people that don't know you
Mm-hmm.
think they know you, and they judge you, and they go and they look for reasons to pick every little flaw you have. And that's what they was doing to you.
They
But
was. And can I say this?
yeah,
I was so, it's like God had prepared me for that moment, because I remember people going and saying, like, kind of trying to say stuff about me that I had already said about myself. Like, one girl was like, "You're talking about a battered woman," which, come on. Okay. Whatever she said happened to her. But she said, "You talking about a battered woman, but you got herpes."
mm-hmm.
Imagine if I didn't have the courage months before this had transpired to come out and talk about HSV1. That would have been the internet having control over my story, telling my story, people thinking that I actually, you know, because the way she said it, of course, she was trying to attack me, not knowing.
But everyone has herpes in their blood system.
Yeah, they just don't talk
Everyone.
about it. Yeah, but you know, I'm just saying, I feel like God knows when you're going to stumble. He knows when you're going into a territory that you don't understand. I didn't understand it. I was not for 1 second thinking it would be like that. But at the same time, the videos and stuff that I had already did before, my character was already showing, like, the type of person I was, even my responses. So it's like, even though that moment did not feel good and I did learn a lot from it, you know, I just did. He still he used it. You know, I had to learn a lesson. I was prepared.
But I'm kind of glad it happened, to be honest with you.
I'm so
the reason
glad
why,
it happened, especially
I'm glad it
at
happened.
the early stage of my whatever God is about to. Yeah, for real.
I'm glad it happened, because I saw you transition, and I didn't even know you that good before,
Mm-hmm.
but I saw
Mm-hmm.
you change after that.
Yeah.
You came more in tune with yourself,
Yeah.
more focused on your body, your mind, and your spirit. And it actually it helped more people than you know.
Man, I have so many messages where people were saying, "I just cannot believe you're responding like this. I cannot believe that you're not going back and forth in a derogatory way." It's enough women going back and forth. Like, I'm already going into it knowing my character is not confrontational. I still stand on what I said. You cannot blame another person for continuing to turn a blind eye about anything. You just can't. Now, should people do you wrong? No. But should you take the warning signs? Of course. They're your warning signs. But doing root work, let me tell you, that situation had me thinking like this. Why was I attracted to saying something in that moment? It took me all the way back. God used hindsight, took me all the way back to my childhood, where when my brothers and sisters used to get in trouble, I used to be trying to, like, talk up for them, defend them.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that is something I didn't understand boundaries then. I'm thinking I'm the oldest. Don't whoop them, or, you know, I got whoopings for them, and it wasn't even me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I didn't just wake up and think like that. That was a behavior that was already in me, to be like overprotective of my family or my siblings. You know.
Can I say something on that?
Yeah.
When you said that, it took me back to when we was talking about my situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when my little sister was a baby, when that was happening to me.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying, "If you didn't let me touch you, I'm gonna touch your baby sister." And I was like, No, don't touch my sister. You can touch me.
Yeah.
And now that sister and I don't even talk. And I used to cry when I used to talk to her. I used to be like, you don't know how I protected you. You don't know how
Oh
I
my
sacrificed myself.
bro, they don't know your man. Those younger siblings. When I tell you, I'm so man, you just struck a nerve with me because I'm a good. If I'm not anything, being a sister, man, I'm so good at it. And to be at odds with all of my siblings that are adults is insane. Even that situation, the way I was attacked, nobody even said thank you for speaking up. Yo, you still with the same folks, and I ain't trying to I don't be trying to talk about nothing or nothing like that. But I'm gonna just say this:
But it hurts.
people who could have spoke up for you, that you really say you tight with, nobody spoke up, and this could be for any situation. Just so happened we talking about this. Nobody even said thank you. Nobody even called and said, "Are you okay?" You get what I'm saying? Not no like what? And you think about it like, dang, you don't know what just happened for you not to stay in the fire. It's like I got in the midst of a fire and started taking bullets that wasn't even for me. His situation hit rock bottom and everything was on me. You get what I'm saying? Nobody even said nothing. Like you said, you see him, ain't no love or nothing. What?
That's the part that hurts.
That's the part that
When I
hurts.
know I put myself on, when I know I put myself on the line to protect you and you left me in the dark, you left me hanging, you threw me under the bus.
Bro, people forget. They'll forget what you really done for them, and they'll try to remember the one time you didn't do something. You get what I'm saying? All the times I've been a safety blanket, just to be totally transparent, just with my siblings, to be at a point in my life where y'all don't have nothing to say to me. What? But this is what God showed me. Empathize with those people, because when I was lost and thinking like them, we was the best of friends. But when I started transitioning and I stopped blaming everybody and blaming my environment and blaming everything but myself for where I was in life, a separation happened. And that's how you got to look at it, so you won't have no type of hate or hurt in your heart. Somebody dislike you, not even realizing what you did for them. And then I ain't say I did it to get no adder girls or nothing like that, but I still showed you myself in an authentic way when I didn't have to. I could have been like the friends and the folks you still kicking it with. And I ain't talking about just him. I'm talking about just anybody. Anybody. I've always just tried to treat people how I would want to be treated. I wanted somebody to say something on my behalf during that time. But everybody was private. Oh, people who didn't know, oh, are you okay? Oh, say something about my character in this moment. And this, when Jesus was being crucified, nobody spoke up for him. Even though he had already showed himself, none of his disciples spoke up for him, because people don't want to get in the fire with you. That's how you know you got to depend on God. He the only one who gonna be in the lion's den with you.
That was people speaking up for you. They just not related to you. You know, or maybe not people that you could recognize right away, because I didn't know what was going on, but even I said positive stuff about you, or tried to defend you in a few comments, and I didn't want to get in nobody else's business, but I made comments that I felt like that wouldn't draw any negatives, like somebody gonna find fault. Yeah. But I still wanted them.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I still wanted them to be like, look, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much.
Look at how you didn't know me. That's what I mean by people who don't know you are going to get you to the next level. People who you've known your whole life. I'm talking about family, friends, teachers, mentors who've seen you grow and develop, don't have a word to say on your behalf in your time of opposition. I can't be mad at it, because it's in the Bible that the exact same thing happened to Jesus. None of the disciples, they went as far as sold him. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to be upset. I wanted to be upset, but God had positioned me. I was in the word heavy at that time. So it's like my response was not cardinal at all. I was strictly thinking as a person who wanted to represent Jesus. And I knew that my response was going to be honored by him. But at the same time, people did speak up for me who didn't know me. But it hurt when the people that you've actually, like, what? I grew up with these people, or y'all know me. Y'all know me more than you. And y'all ain't had nothing to say. Everybody went and hid.
But let's just talk about men, period. You know, men, we talked about what women go through.
Yeah.
And what we went through as women. But then you were protecting a man. But then men, sometimes they deal with stuff that we don't even know. And then they're attracted to females with a lot of drama. They're attracted to sometimes men like that type of stuff. They like to see females going at it. Because of how they were raised or situations that they were brought up in. Girl, when it comes to men, I get so confused.
Men go through a lot, and you know, we moving past the social media attack, correct? Okay, let's move past that. Because I just,
we don't want to wake that dead horse back up, because
well, you know, even when God was allowing me to understand what was happening, what you just said made so much sense. Men are attracted to what they know. The young lady and his mother act identical. That's why they can't get along. So you are attracted to something that raised you, but now that's who, you know what I'm saying, you with, you know what I'm saying? So this is how you uncover an inappropriate relationship between like a mother and a son. So now let's bury the social media attack, because everything that happened with that, it literally happened because those two people were attracted to one another. I shouldn't have been in it. But I did a lot through it. Thank God for it. But as far as men in general, you know, a lot of men, especially if they raised by a single mother, they are in an inappropriate relationship with their mother, point blank, period. And when you're in an inappropriate relationship with your mother, you don't know it. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean that
elaborate on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't mean
that
she's touching on you or she's doing anything like that to you. It means that she thinks that you're her man. Y'all do everything together. She has this possession over you. Women unknowingly do this to their sons. This is why it's important for a woman to have a man in her life. You get what I'm saying? Because if you don't, you become overprotective of the next thing that's in your life, which is your son. And so you're being, you have, when that son grows up, he's going to have issues with other women because you think that you're the top woman in his life. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you have that type of man. Then you have a man who actually was brought up in a 2-parent household, and they understand what healthy living and healthy love is, but they've chosen to do something different. I mean, I'm
gonna have to disagree with you a little bit on the single parent one, just a little bit, because I kind of can agree and I kind of can't, because me being a single mom with 3 boys and a girl, I love my boys, but it's the baby, I guess, because he's the last one, the one that I kind of cling on to the most. But you're right. Now that I got a man, I don't even, have him in my bed no more. Like, I used to.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? No.
Oh, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on. Say something now.
How about now?
Oh my God, I can't hear you. My alarm went off. Did it mess up something?
Probably so. Just get out and get back in.
Do I need to hit the refresh button? Nah, yes or no?
Just go all the way out and get back in.
Go out and come back in? Right now?
Yeah.
Take a break. DJ Pressure. We taking a break. Stay tuned. DJ Pressure will be back soon.
All right, how about now?
Okay, yeah, you were saying the youngest son.
Okay,
And
so
hold
the
on,
youngest
can I say
son.
something before you say that? Can I say something before
Go
you say
ahead.
that? I know for absolute, like, sure, all single mothers are not like this, but it is a group of single mothers who are unhealed and they have an inappropriate relationship with their son.
Mm-hmm.
And those
Mm-hmm.
sons grow up to be adult men that struggle in the
Mm-hmm.
world. So yeah, for sure, I know this is not your case, just like it's not my mom's case, because she was also a single mom.
Yeah, and then you know the reason why I say I agree with you is because the man that I was married to, his mom was married to his dad, but then she became a single mom, and she clinged on to her son.
Yeah.
Like he was her man. I was like, you might as well go lay up with your mama. You know,
Yes.
she was controlling our relationship. She was,
Yeah.
my son's so handsome. And oh my God, y'all so lucky to be with my son, my boys, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, girl, you sound crazy.
Yeah, for
Lucky.
real. Yeah, but and you know when you saying that to a kid, they develop a entitlement spirit. Like, and it's not that you shouldn't feel like you the prize, but you do feel like you can just have or do whatever
Whatever you
because
want.
that's yeah, and do it in a way where you giving mediocre you have mediocre guys that think like that
Mm-hmm.
because of things that their mom or the women in their life they've said them to them, and then those men grow up and they go out and get with a woman and they're so mediocre that they become narcissistic. Like they become
Mm-hmm.
delusional. They want the woman to think that it's her fault that this is happening. They don't know how to stick up or stand up to their moms. So I agree
Mm-hmm.
with you. I just think that men should have mentors, just like women should have mentors. Everyone needs to have someone that they're looking up to, that they're learning from. You have so many young guys. Every time you see them, they with the same young guys that's doing the same thing they doing. But I'm sure you like me. We have mentors. We go out and have lunch with someone that's older than us, or you know.
Yeah, I like being around mature older women. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not all older women are mature. Lord knows they not. They still act
Right.
like girls. But I like to be around bossy women, mature women, you know, and because I carry myself a certain way, I can't be around here. Like, I don't mind going out and having a drink or something, but I don't really drink. But I'm just saying, going out and having some me time. But at the same time, like, I can't be found twerking, bent all over, and all this kind of stuff. You know, I have to understand that with the levels that I'm trying to go and be with God, I'm still working on me, but I gotta carry myself with some respect. And so that also reflect on the people that I involve myself with.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes people kind of take that out of turn. They think that just because they are on a journey with God, that they have to totally separate themselves from people who are not on a journey with God. And you do to a certain extent, but
Mm-hmm.
you should
Boundaries.
always, yeah, you boundaries, but it's not a place that I could be in right now in my life that is going to have more control over me than I have over myself. But that's just where I am now. But I went through a time where I couldn't subject myself to certain things, like you said, until I developed a strength to know how to set a boundary and to know how to just exist and meet people where they are. If I'm in a club and everybody twerking, I'm not influenced by that anymore. And I enjoy twerking. You know, like I feel like I was real good at twerking when I was doing it. But now it's like I've transitioned. Like that season is over with. You know, I thank God it's over with.
I felt like God didn't give me booty for a reason. You
You think?
know, like he knew that if he blessed me with booty, he could never catch me in church. like thank you
Yeah.
God for making me play. Like, you know, I
Yeah.
that's how I look at it, because I think I would have been a whole different person had I had
Yeah.
some booty. I
Well, you
got hips in a
well,
little
you
butt,
know,
but
maybe. Huh?
I said I got hips in a little bit, but I ain't got no big donk, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say, you know, this is no shade to people who like to twerk or enjoy twerking. I remember being there. I just know that now that I see what twerking is from this standpoint, I know that it's detrimental to the community. It's
Oh
detrimental
yeah.
to women. So I'm looking at it like that. Whether you got a big one or a little one, it's really just detrimental to women, because think about us being Black women right now, how we already have so much against us just because of our skin color.
Mhm.
So if we're constantly being promoted in a certain light, I mean, look at the things that they promote about us. Like, they don't even promote good things, like actual good women who are, in my opinion, good representation of what it means to be a Black woman. Like the
Well,
Olympics
I
this
think
weekend. Go ahead.
I think social media is turning twerking into a new, like, it's not really even twerking no more. It's like you might as well be a stripper, because when you twerking, what they trying to look at? Your
Yeah.
coochie print.
Yeah.
They trying to look at your coochie print. So
And if you go viral for twerking, it's no reward for going viral for twerking other than
disrespect.
vanity or
Yeah.
vanity. You enjoyed the thrill of going viral, the thrill of millions of people looking at looking at you like that. But they're not just looking at you,
Men.
like they're looking at me, you, your daughter, my sisters. They don't even see a particular like person no more. It's just
Actually, what it is that when they see women twerking, they imagine the first thing is, can I see myself having sex with her? And it's
yes.
not because of what she brings to the table. It's not, it's only because of, can I look at her and I get aroused? And if I can get aroused, I'm finna like and comment.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, bring that here. Oh, you should have been mine. Oh, baby. Oh, golly. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. They're not the kind of comments you get.
Yeah, I mean, and if you like that, then fine. I just think people should think about other people. We live in a world where everybody is thinking, oh, I don't care about you. I don't care about you. This is me. No, you are representing more than yourself. You know, and when you get that mindset, you will think about everything you do. When you think about, I'm representing my children, I'm representing my future husband if you don't have one.
Mhm.
And then people are not thinking like that. We have monetized our bodies, we have monetized just being overly sexual, and that could be
Mhm.
something that was projected on some people. Projection
Right.
is real. Think about how teenage girls, I know, like where I'm from, it's like when a girl got old enough, people just start saying stuff about her, like saying she being fast or saying she fast when she started getting attention of guys. Well, she's developing into a woman. She's a teenager. But then you have certain environments that project certain type of stuff on kids. I can't help that I'm growing up or that I'm, shaping out or whatever. That's natural. Instead of like
Right.
teaching young girls how to embrace that, it's like first chance you get, you better use what you got to get what you want. That's the
Right.
mentality that's being pushed. So you have men who are also victims in this, because men are coming into situations, not all of them, but not all women are, doing this.
Or
But
they're tempted.
yeah, men are coming into situations wanting to have something good, but they're
Easy
it's
access. Tempted.
easy,
Like they can't be
easy access.
faithful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy access, tempted, but not only that, they're being looked at as a bank.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
But also, I was just talking to a Southern Soul artist on my podcast the other day, where he has a song where he's saying, "Baby, I'll pay for it" and stuff like that. And I said, "Well, then you get mad at the woman that asks you for money, but you got a song that says I'll pay for it." It's not just the women asking for the money; it's the men presenting the money to get what they want. So indirectly, women are prostituting their bodies and men, giving money to buy
it is a
indirectly.
domino. Exactly. And you can't blame the woman and you can't blame the man. It's a domino
Mm,
effect that is plaguing the world. Why is it plaguing the world? Because love has been what's the word? Love has been reduced. Loving a person, that has been reduced. Being a particular type of woman, that has been reduced. Being a particular type of man has been reduced. Being a
Mhm.
parent has been reduced. Being a teacher has been reduced. We're living in a world where everything is reduced. So
Right.
now that everything is reduced, it seemed like everybody just kind of like trying to figure out how they go fall with it. So yeah, men are saying they go
Mhm.
pay for it because they've been reduced as a man. Women are not really into him. They into his pocketbook. They into his wallet.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then you have men who are encouraging, paying for a certain type of woman. All of these are just spirits and mentalities
Men
embodied.
that pays for sex or pays for a woman's attention, I feel like are already dealing with some type of insecurities.
But what do you mean? Tell me, give me an example of what do you mean by paying? Like y'all do it and it's money on the nightstand or something?
No, that's not always the case. Some men pay before they even get anything because they feel like they're expecting something from you in the end. So here, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna buy you a drink. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go buy you an outfit so you can go out with me tonight. And
yeah,
by the end of the night, I expect to get what I want.
yeah, yeah. And that's partially our fault. It's partially our fault and not you
Because
or
they're
me.
being led on.
Well, no, it's just the representation of a woman right now is reduced. The type of woman
Yeah,
that's being pushed and
yeah.
promoted is the woman that's encouraging you to go out and trick dudes, or the woman that's encouraging you to go out and get as many numbers and get as many free drinks as you want. That is the type of woman that's being pushed and promoted. That's the prototype. So when a guy encounters a woman that might not be on that type of time, he probably don't even know if she's genuine or not, because if you meet 10 women that's on that type of time and the 11th woman is not, she finna have to get all of the BS that the other women done put them through. That's why it is important as a woman and as a man to not only have a standard, but just consider how you would want to be treated in this situation. Do you want to be treated like a bank? Do you want to be treated
Right.
like a piece of meat? Or are you truly wanting to get with a person that can complete you? You know what I'm saying? So everything has been
Right.
reduced. I can't blame the man or the woman. It's just the mindset of the world has been reduced. Everybody has a gimme, gimme, gimme mentality. You get what I'm saying? And then when they give something, they're not giving without expecting something back. Think about it. It
Well,
boils
y'all, I
all the
tell
way
y'all
down to
one
that.
thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Right. Well, I tell y'all one thing. This conversation has definitely went on different levels, and that's how it is when you're talking about. That's how it is when you're talking about healing. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So when you get to talking about the mental and the physical and the spiritual, it's not a 10-minute, 30-minute conversation. It's not a 1 hour conversation. It's something that really has to be milked into
yeah,
you like you're a baby.
yeah,
You're being fed right now. So promise we're gonna have to get them some tips on how to, kind of get to know themselves and know if they really over a situation or need some help or anything. But we will be right back, y'all. Y'all stay right here with me and my girl Promise.
TikTok and the pressure don't stop. We're not done yet. Let's talk about everything that you're doing on and off the clock. Guests will tell us all about the things that they're doing in their downtime, even if it's working on music, goals, events, or community engagements.
So the purpose of me replaying that one is because I played it earlier and when we decided to do more time to talk, but I do want to talk about tips on people being able to manage healing process. Sometimes you guys need to write it out.
yeah,
Writing is very important. I used to write all the time. Music helped me. Music, sometimes listening to music, a real good song that tells a story that actually helps you get through things, is good for you. I like jazz. You like jazz?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love I love music. I feel like it helps me meditating. Meditating, oh my God. Everybody got different ways that they meditate. Me personally, I could be riding in my car and my one-on-one time with God. Sometimes I'll caught the Holy Ghost in my car. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. Just listen to music and my one-on-one time with God. But that's a way of meditating and kind of getting to know where your place is with Him. What you think about that? With you, Promise?
Tips on
how to actually process the healing stage in life when dealing with different things. I was talking about writing.
Yeah. I heard. Yeah.
Meditating. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. But I'll say this, ladies and gentlemen. Accountability is the best thing you could have. Stop blaming others. Even if someone did something to you, stop blaming others. Get into a posture of figuring out how you can be better no matter what. And I'm telling you, you could listen to music, you can journal, but if your brain is still sick, it's pointless. You're not going to be able to come from a posture of trying to figure out how can you be better versus if that person didn't do this or if this didn't happen or all of the things that we say to not grow. God has to be at the top of that list. Like if you need to heal,
Right.
which everyone needs to heal. Every day needs to be a day full of trying to heal and be better. God has to be number one. I spent so much time trying to figure it out on my own that I was so down and out. I said, something, I haven't fully tried God. And a lot of times people think that you have to be a certain way to try God. No, that's what He means by come as you are. That phrase, when people say come as you are, that doesn't mean wear whatever to church. He ain't talking about clothing. He's talking about where you are mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Come to Him like that. And I hate to tell y'all, you have to have a non-negotiable mindset when it comes to getting into a relationship with the person that's really going to heal you. Nothing that you do on your own without Him is going to work. He has to be in the midst of it. You need to change your mindset. Start listening to better things. Start watching better things. If you're constantly watching material on the TV that's promoting something, you need to change that. You need to change what you listen to. You need to change the type of people that you are around. Everything in your life needs to take a shift. In order to be better, you have to do better. In order to have something that you've never had, you got to do something that you've never done. So in order to be healed and happy, you got to take a healed and happy route. What's that route? God go show it to you. He go show you the route you need to take.
I want to show you something. I don't know if you listen to this lady, but I want you to listen to this.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
The title is cool.
I walk, I strut, I walk, I strut, I walk, I strut. I walk, I strut, I walk, I strut, I walk, I strut. Healing in my heels, healing in my heels, healing in my heels. I walk, I strut, I walk, I strut, I walk, I strut. Healing in my heels.
Oh Lord.
I learned to walk on my own. I never asked for anyone to teach me. I just watched, I listened, and I was supported to walk, lifting one heel at a time. My path of wealth, my path of love, my path of health, my path of joy. I strut, I walk, I strut, I walk, I strut, I walk. Healing in my heels, that's my rhythm. Healing in my heels. When I heal myself, I heal the generations that follow. I heal my understanding of being a woman. I heal my memories and purify them by creating healthier memories, exploring possibility through my imagination. I heal my inner feminine by forgiving my mother for the time she let her own pain manifest into mine. My feminine being knows the way forward. I'm going against the grain, making beautiful mistakes. I fought hard to find my voice. Fear won't silence me. Courage is the choice. I'll set myself free over and over and over again. I honor my power to choose, to respect and love myself. I will no longer honor any vow, intention, word, commitment said by me or about me that is based in fear or doubt. I choose to take time and space for myself to decide what is true for me, period. I am gentle with my fears, flirting with my fears' core while being soft as I enroll them into my awareness. Sheesh, I'm really glowing, like for real. I got the glow.
I love it. I love it.
I strut.
Listen, you're gonna have to. I'm gonna send you. I don't know if you listen to her, but hold on. I don't know if you listen to her, but you're gonna have to listen to Tony. Tony is my girl.
And I hate to be this person, but I can't help but to say this. It was catchy. It was catchy. It was good, but you cannot heal on your own. She came from a posture of you can't heal yourself. But I know what she was saying.
Yeah.
But people who are truly lost and truly caught in darkness, they're never going to come out of it if they think they could do it on their own. That's why I'm glad we have this.
You have to get to know when you get to know her music, she will let you know that. I've been listening to her for a long time, and when I was in my place of darkness, that song right there got me through a lot.
Yeah, this is not directed towards her. I just wanted y'all to know.
Oh yeah, I know.
Do it on your
I
own,
know, girl.
Sure.
Yeah, I know. Please believe me. I know it's not nothing personal, but my thing is for me. I'm speaking on my experience. I was listening to her many times. I felt like I wanted to give up, and she does poetry, that's that's really her poetry mixed with just music. Hold on one second. So that's really her poetry mixed with music, and she don't really sing, she just do, she just write. But she get to know her. Just listen, just go in Tony Jones and get to know her album and her poems and stuff like that. You'll get to see how strong she is. Oh, girl, I started to have a headache. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my I'm gonna say this about my condition before I leave.
What's her name though? Tony Jones?
Tony Jones.
Okay.
I do my podcasting, but I have, like I was telling you, I have 3 brain conditions, right?
Yeah.
So, and I was telling you the pros and the cons. I was telling you the cons to it, but no pros. Hell, I wish it was some pros. But the thing is, after talking for so long, I have to take a break. So I kind of like right now how I'm trying to get my words out, and I can't really because I'm hurting and I need to relax. So I'm gonna get ready to end the podcast, but I want you to maybe we could follow back up with this when I'm not in so much pain and I could think clearly.
I think we've done quite a bit, and I can only imagine how you feel with just you got light in your eyes and everything. I think our time has come.
Well, I tell you one thing. with that, I tell a lot of people, half of my face, I can't it I have no feeling, like it's like when you go to the dentist,
Yeah.
the whole entire one half, right? And the pain is like fire to that whole one half,
All the time.
and 24/7, never goes away.
So you have chronic pain.
Yes, real
Wow.
bad crack. Yeah. But I continue to do what I do because I love what I do.
Yeah.
Um, so it affects when when you're in a lot of high pain, it
Yes.
affects your ability to be able to like respond to certain stuff how you want to. So I'm not ashamed of it. I don't mind admitting it. I'm just kind of letting you know before we end, that's what's going on with me right now.
Yeah.
So a lot of things I want to say, or things may not be, I don't even know if I'm making sense half of the time when I start hurting real bad. But it's that moment. I appreciate you having the podcast with me.
I appreciate being invited. I mean, I've learned so much from you tonight, and I'm glad that we was able to get together. I can't
Did
wait
you
till the next.
really?
Girl, let me tell you something. This was such a mature, needed conversation. No one being offended, both of us just speaking from a place of experience in certain areas, and we were both just very open to one another. So I hope that the people who watched us was able to kind of see what a conversation looks like and sounds like, and it was fruitful. It wasn't us just talking about weird stuff. We talked about a way that the needle could be pushed forward just for the world. I'm so happy we did this. You don't know how much, like, this is what the
I'm
world needs.
happy too. I'm happy too, and I'm hoping that I could continue to get to know you as a person. Maybe we could make a difference. But I definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, so let's do it again. You have my number, I have your number. Let's just talk, let's get off of this so you could go ahead and not have so much pressure going on, because I know you're trying to still stay in a posture because people are watching. Thank you for having me.
No problem. You have a good night. Thank you. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Okay, bye y'all. Bye girl. Thank you.